Put a figure down if your own thoughts has gotten in the way of you living the life that God has planned for you. Put a figure down if you have little voices in your head that says that your dreams are too big or you don't have what it takes to reach a dream. Put a figure down if you talked yourself out of pursuing a dream. Put a figure down if fear of failure has stopped you from even trying. Put a figure down if you feel as though you're unworthy of the blessings or opportunities that God has placed along your path. If this sounds familiar to you, then this episode is just for you. We're talking about the power of faith, surrendering to God's will for your life, using affirmations and visualization to transform not just your mindset, but your life. I need you to stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll have practical tools to start believing bigger, and you'll see why your faith is the foundation for living the life that God has prepared for you. I remember exactly where I was a few years ago in my kitchen, thinking about how I felt like I was going through the same cycles, doing the same thing over and over, and did not have any real change. I would pray, don't get me wrong, my faith in God was strong, but I felt as though my mind was just clouded with just negative thoughts. I would also use the tools of visualization, imagining what my life would be like. But if I'm being honest with you, I felt as though those things were out of reach, that I could not really attain those things. I felt as though the problem was not lack of vision, it was lack of faith. And the truth is, you cannot live your God-given dreams, your God-given purpose, if you don't believe in them, if you don't believe that they're even possible. And like I've said before, that was the beginning of my turning point. I had to renew my mind. I had to rewire the way I was thinking. And I had to align my faith with what I was saying over my life, over my situation. I felt like it was a total 360. I had to think differently. I had to speak differently. I had to move differently. And I had to truly put my trust in God. And when I say put your trust in God, it's like you don't even know what the next 30 minutes are going to look like. You don't know what next week is going to look like, but you're optimistic. You're trusting God and knowing, Lord, I don't know what's going to happen. However, I trust you. I trust you to see me through the situation. I see you going to open doors. You're going to unlock doors for me. And that is what trust is. Like you're blindfolded. You can't even see where you're going. However, you know good and well you ain't going to stub your toe. You're not going to trip. You're not going to fall. You're going to get to your destination in one piece. Okay? I digress. And I've shared this book before, and this was one of the books that I highly recommend for anyone to read. It really helped me with transforming and renewing my mind, and it's The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Add it to your Amazon, add it to cart, check out. Let's start with the first piece, surrender. We have to surrender to God's will for us. Sometimes we're going after things that has nothing to do with our journey, has nothing to do with what God has for us. And so surrendering means just that, Lord, let your will be done. I'm under your authority. And faith isn't about forcing something to happen. It's about trusting God who makes all things possible. Philippians 4:13, I say this verse all the time, is one of my favorites. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And listen closely. It does not say through my hustle, through my strength, or my talent. It says through Christ. When we surrender our goals, our desires, we're saying, God, I believe that you have the power to do what I can't. Here are 3 tips to surrender to God on a daily basis. Start with a prayer. Invite God into your day and say, Lord, Today, I give you my plans, guide my steps. Keep a prayer journal. Anytime fear starts to creep in or you feel as though you have negative thoughts that are coming in, write those down and pray over them. And I like to say, have a comeback, and I'm going to talk about that later on. And you want to replace overthinking with scripture. When doubt starts to creep up, say to yourself, God is working it all for my good. And I'm going to say this again later on in the video, but if you're going to say something, I need you to speak it with authority and believe exactly what you are saying, because words are powerful. Words are powerful. And so if you're going to say something, you got to declare it with authority and believe what you are saying. And the more you surrender to God, the more that you give to Him, the lighter you start to feel. The lighter you start to feel, because that's what He's supposed to do. He is supposed to carry it for you. And that's what He wants. He wants to relieve you of that burden. Now, let's talk about visualization. In Habakkuk 2:2, it says, to write the vision and make it plain. God gave us an imagination for a reason. And when you visualize, you're training your brain to believe and see what's possible. And I ain't gonna lie, visualization, I enjoy it. I love it because it not only gives me a glimpse in my mind of what things could look like, it just also I feel it too. When you feel those emotions, it's a really good feeling. And we're gonna do an exercise in a few moments on visualization. I would say for you to visualize, you want to be able to visualize as often as you want. I don't think it's daydreaming. It's intentional daydreaming. It's an intentional exercise that you're doing that is going to really set you up for what is to come. So set aside 2 to 3 minutes a day and think about the goals that you set for yourself. See your future. And part of this connects with creating a vision board. You want to create a vision board with photos, with quotes, with scripture to keep you inspired, to keep you motivated. And those are the things that you can look at when you're visualizing your future. It'll also help with those images. And most importantly, add feelings to this process. Add feelings to this exercise, because you want to be able to feel the emotions. You want to be able to I know you won't be able to taste or smell or anything like that. However, there are other senses that you are able to use. You okay, just what are you hearing? What are you listening to? Okay, what are the sounds around you? All of that plays into your feelings of the visualization exercise. All right, now I want you to close your eyes and we're going to do this exercise. And think about the goals that you have for the next 30 days. Think about the goals that you have for the next 90 days, the next 6 months. Think about that for a moment, okay? Think about one of those goals. And I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to picture your dream life for 30 seconds. See the details. What are you wearing? Where are you standing? Who's around you? Feel those emotions. How do you feel? This isn't fantasy whatsoever. It's about conditioning your mind to recognize opportunities when they show up. Visualization plants seeds of belief. And when those seeds are watered by faith, they grow into action. You cannot tell me that ain't feel good. You cannot tell me. Okay. On to the next affirmations. Like I said earlier, words are powerful, okay? Proverbs 18 verse 21. It says, life and death are in the power of the tongue. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Think about it, okay? So every word that you speak is either building something up or tearing it down. So it's either you're saying something to build yourself up as far as pursuing your goals, going after the things that you want, or you're, like I said in the beginning, like you're talking yourself out of it. You're doubting yourself. And that's why we use affirmations. Affirmation is a tool to help silence the negative thoughts, silence the doubt, to speak life, to speak prosperity over yourself, over your life, over your dreams, over your family. And so that's why affirmations are powerful, okay? And like I said earlier, you have to speak with authority and declare these words over your life and believe them. Over time, your affirmations will rewire your thoughts to match the truth of God. Because when you think about it, think about this. And this is like how can I say it? This is just another confirmation that affirmations work. Because what happens when you start saying the negative things about yourself? You start to believe them. Okay? Oh, I'm too big. I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. What happens after that? You start to believe it. So why not rewire your thoughts? Rewire all of that by speaking the things over and over and over. We process over 60,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are repetitive, okay? We're saying the same thing over and over. So why not say the same positive things about ourselves over and over and help our mind start to believe it, okay? Speak it over yourself. I be getting pumped up. I need to simmer down sometimes, but y'all, I'm like, I am truly passionate about this, and this is not a joke. You have people really dealing with a lot, and I'm here to share some principles that are effective and are proven. And people think that, oh, it's got to be this 12-step system. It's not that complicated. It's very simple. The only thing that we have to do is be disciplined enough and consistent to make sure that we are being intentional as to what we are saying to ourselves and what we are believing. All of that plays a factor. Okay? So we are we here, okay? Are we here? Okay. I'm going to give you some tips now on how you can start incorporating affirmations daily. I'm going to honestly say keep it simple. You don't need 15 affirmations, okay? 2 to 3. You want your affirmations to speak to that little girl or that little boy inside of you. Like, let that affirmation really impact and touch you based off your whatever it is that you're lacking, whatever you feel like you're struggling with in this season of your life. Let that be the affirmation that you recite to yourself every day, throughout the day. Okay? So write it down and post it throughout your house, throughout your workspace, put one in your car, all of that. So you have those reminders constantly around yourself so that you can take a moment. You be like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then keep saying it. Anytime you have a moment where that thought creeps in, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And you will get that energy. You're going to get that boost, that confidence that you need to push through. All right, my favorite part. And I feel like it's like, I call it like, if I have a negative thought that likes to kind of like really get down on me, I call it a comeback. Okay, have a comeback, which is another word for an affirmation. Have an affirmation that's going to knock this negative thought down so hard, it ain't going to come back. You done knocked it down. It has no choice but to stay where it's at. Okay? So have your comeback. Have that comeback ready. And when you say it, man, say it with authority. Because God has given you authority. So you have to use it wisely. Use it wisely. And then lastly, with affirmations, you want to pair your affirmations with scripture. Pair it with scripture because, believe it or not, I'm in my Bible reading. I don't know where this hair came from. I'm in my Bible journey, reading my Bible from cover to cover. I am in Songs of Solomon? Songs of Songs. I've never said that out loud, so it sounds weird. Y'all, let me make sure I'm saying this correctly. Okay, Songs of Songs. I've learned so far in the Old Testament, ain't nothing new under the sun. The stories that I've read in the Bible so far. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Like, there's times where I stop reading and I'm like, I gotta call a friend and be like, girl, did you know? She be like, girl, and such and such happened. I was like, yes, yes. But at the end of the day, nothing is new under the sun. So therefore, the things that we are experiencing emotionally, mentally, the Bible, has the scripture. Okay, the Bible has the scriptures to help you through it. Trust me. And I'm excited to kind of continue to read through the different, because I feel like I get too excited when I'm reading the Bible and I'm like, you need to slow down, because you have to be able to retain this information. You're not just reading it just to say, oh, I read the Bible. You want to be able to read it and then go back and, help someone else and, encourage someone else. And so that's that. And in sidebar, I'm really bad with remembering the biblical names. And so sometimes I'm like, I don't remember the name of the person. However, this is what the scenario was. And so for me, what I'm telling myself is, once I get through, I need to go back and refresh my mind. And okay, who was this character in the Bible? What was the storyline and things like that? So that's just me rambling. Okay, y'all. So let's talk about some more affirmations that are rooted in scripture. Let me share 3 with you. Romans 8:37. I am more than a conqueror. I am strong and courageous because the Lord is with me. I am worthy of the dreams God placed in my heart. I believe that all things are working together for my good. Say them daily, even when you don't feel like it. Even when you don't feel like it. Say them daily. You have to really, like, that's what I'm saying. You have to be disciplined enough and consistent to be like, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it, because do you want to stay where you are right now? Are you happy right now? Something has to change. Okay? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, thinking that the situation's going to change. So you have to be intentional. You have to. Put it in your bathroom mirror. All right, we're going to say this. Boom, 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 boom. And a minute. So you're telling me you can't give yourself a minute to feed yourself, to make sure that you're okay before you start your day? Repetition builds belief, and belief builds action. I'm telling you, your words will start matching your reality. And a quick story time. I met up with my friend. She lives out in Arizona, but I was able to catch up with her this week. And she was just like, oh my gosh, traveling back and forth, from Arizona to Florida is a lot. And then I told her, I said, girl, you forgot you told me you wanted to be bi-coastal? You forgot? You were like,
I want to be here X amount of time. I want to be here X amount of time.
And I said, everything that you say you're going to do, you end up doing it. You say you want to build up your clients. You want to be able to hire staff. I said, everything that you're saying, everything that you have said has come into fruition. So therefore, I'm telling you that there is power in it. And she was just like,
I know that's right. I know. I be.
Yeah. Yes. So when things seem shaky, when things aren't going as planned, believe and speak what you want to see. Believe and speak exactly what you want to see, even though it has not come yet. And lastly, you got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. When I say believe in yourself, it's not like to being selfish or self-centered, not in that way, but God-centered. The same God who created the universe is the same God that gave you gifts, that gave you talents, that gave you purpose. Okay? Look around you. Look at the nature. Look in the sky. Look at the sky and see the creation around you. And so just look at that and know that there is something inside of you that is special, that only you have. Something that's very unique specifically to you. And so that is all the more reasons why you should pursue that dream. because it has purpose. It's to help someone. It's to make a difference. Okay? So don't feel as though you're not good enough. Never feel as though you're not qualified enough, because he gave you it all. Okay? You have everything. You just got to believe in yourself and know that, yes, I can do this. I can go after it. It's going to be scary. Yes, you're going into unknown territory, but God will give you everything you need along the way. Just keep going, and he's going to give you everything. It's already in place. You just need to be obedient, believe in yourself, and go. Just go. One powerful advice with all of this, especially when it comes to believing in yourself, is surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals. Surround yourself with people who's going to hold you accountable. You want to make sure that your tribe, your circle is like-minded in the sense that they're going to push you and encourage you along your journey. Okay? If you're around toxic people, it's going to start rubbing off on you. And that's what you don't want that. Or they're going to distract you. They're going to delay your process. So you got to be intentional with your circle or who you have around you. And if you ever get to the point where you feel like I can't, I need you to immediately, I want you to write this down. If you ever get to the point where you feel like you can't, I want you to shift it and immediately say to yourself, with God's help, I can and I will. With God's help, I can and I will. With God's help, I can and I will. All of this that I've shared with you today, everything that I talked about with you, it's in the sense of you are in alignment with God's will for you. You are in alignment with what God has for you. Take a look at my previous video when I talk about, when you're doing your vision boards and you're writing your goals, to include God into that. Pray over your goals to make sure that the desires of your heart are in alignment with your purpose. Because at the same time, sometimes we have to look at the red flags now. We got to look at the red flags because God does speak with us, but we just got to be alert and hear him when he's talking to us, because sometimes we're going after something that has nothing to do with our purpose. Sometimes we're trying to go into this door that God is locked and shut, but you're trying to bang this door down. That's part of it too. So that's why it's so important to have a relationship with God. Build a relationship with God. Grow your relationship with God. Read his word. That's how he talks to you. Spend time with him during prayer, meditation, fasting. That's how you are able to really grow and connect with God. And know that you are in alignment, that you're in the right path with God. So that is so important. Okay? That is so important. All right, y'all. So let's do a recap. Because I know I threw a lot at you, but this is a series. Okay, this is a series and it's a lot of episodes in it. But I just wanted to kind of break it down into manageable pieces. Don't want to overwhelm you now. Okay, don't want to overwhelm you. However, I just wanted to kind of break things up so that if you want to go back to any of my videos in this series later on, you can really tap into the specific video and not have to worry about a long video and try to cut through it. You want to be able to surrender to God's will. Okay, surrender to God's will. Visualize the life that he's leading you towards. See it. Okay, speak it. All of that. You want to speak the affirmations that are rooted in his word, that are rooted in his promises. Those are the affirmations you want to be able to speak over yourself. And lastly, I want you to believe in yourself, knowing that you are his masterpiece. Okay? Believe in yourself that you are his masterpiece. And remember that your thoughts shape your reality, but your faith makes it possible. Your faith in God makes it possible. If this episode spoke to you, I want you to drop in the comments, I believe, okay? Drop I believe in the comments to let me know that this is something that really spoke to you, that inspired and motivated you. All right, so make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not joined my family yet. And stay tuned for episode 2. We're going to talk about morning routines, and I'm going to share some effective tips on creating a morning routine that's going to help you be more productive and just set you up for success. If you never created a vision board or just need help creating an effective vision board, check out Divra Nation University. It's linked in the description box below. Join our tribe, join our family, join Divra Nation to get the effective tools that you need to create a vision board that is aligned with your purpose and can give you the results that you're looking for along your journey to stay motivated, to stay on track, and do the things that you need to be doing on a daily basis to reach your end goal. Until next time, keep the faith, be strong, keep God centered, and I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all be blessed.